Bud Light had been kind of a brand of fratty, kind of out of touch humor, and it was really important that we had another approach.
Yeah, fratty is bad. They're just so entitled. That's the word from Alyssa Heinerstein, who went to Harvard, where it turns out she has something of a fratty past herself. Henry Rogers of the Daily Caller somehow got these pictures of that same person at school in 2006. And you can see she's blowing up condoms. And no, that's not in a biology class. That's in some kind of fratty setting. So how's Bud Light doing, the brand she's partly in charge of? Well, it's lost more than $5 billion in market cap since going trans. Was it worth it? Of course it was. Candace Owens is the host of Candace. She joins us tonight to respond. Hope you weren't a Bud Light investor, Candace.
Fortunately, I was not and am not. And I will say this, nothing says I hate Fratty quite like blowing up a condom at a booze fest, which is exactly what she's doing in those photos. You can't make this up. But I am going to have to defend her because, listen, she's lying because she has to lie. Of course, she enjoys frat culture. Of course, she had a good time while she was in college like every other person. But now, to survive in woke culture, you have to become a liar. You have to pretend that you think fat is beautiful. You have to pretend to be race obsessed. You have to pretend that you think Dylan Mulvaney is a woman and should be included in female spaces. We are being told that you have to lie repeatedly in order to survive in corporate culture. And she is herself a victim of that and a perpetuator of that. So yeah, it's absolutely shameful, and she should feel ashamed that she brought this idea to Bud Light. But I do believe that she was conditioned. I mean, she went to Harvard. What do we think goes on? What do we believe is the sociology of people that graduate Harvard? They are basically being told that this is the way that they should think. And there's one more thing I want to say here, Tucker, because it's deeply upsetting to me. There is a post-analysis that needs to happen here on why it is that Dylan Mulvaney for 365 days was able to openly mock women, to openly take the spaces of women, to get contracts from Ulta Beauty, to take, contracts from other women and all these sponsorships, and nobody cared until suddenly Dylan Mulvaney traversed into a male space and it became unacceptable. Why? Because men don't tolerate this level of lies in the way that women do, right? We respond emotionally and not rationally. We should have been the ones to put an end to Dylan Mulvaney, but we didn't because we feel bad. And shouldn't we just feel bad for men that want to be women and mock us and put on lipstick and pigtails and call themselves a girl? I think not, Tucker, but woke culture says yes.
What's up, guys? It's your boy, Benny. You can fool some of us some of the time, but you can't fool all of us all the time, can you? Well, Candace Owens is calling out the left's attack on women, something that I talk about with my wife actually a lot, and how they target women for these type of degenerate ad campaigns because they know that women are softer. They're also deeply connected to herd approval and desirous of going along with the recent trends. And so what Candace was sort of talking about there in the broader frame of the Bud Light woke advertising backlash was Alyssa Heinerstein and how she is being affected by the propaganda of the woke to women. They live inside of a bubble, and she lives inside of a bubble of rich Greenwich moms addicted to Xanax and Chardonnay and Lululemon, and they all have the same opinions. Not a single one of them knows a single MAGA voter. None of them. Their kids all go to the same private schools and hate them. Their husbands all go into New York to do finance every single day, and they hate them. And so what you do is you have the in-group qualities that you must account for, and that inside of that group, they all think that Dylan Mulvaney is super cute and deserves our praise. And wouldn't it be wonderful if Dylan Mulvaney had a Bud Light can with his face on it? Because we like him, so clearly everyone likes him. That's the lie that they sell to women. Gina Bontempo, one of my favorite creators and fitness influencers. Obesity is on the rise, and yet women are told by celebrities and the media that being obese is normal and healthy. You never see them try this with men. Only women are insecure enough to fall for it, to which Candace Owens responds, only women could be emotionally manipulated into supporting their own eradication via support for trans men. Only women could be fooled into supporting the death cult of fat acceptance. Today's cultural battles prove that women are more rational and emotional than men. Candace continued by saying, if you peep comments on any of Lizzo's acceptance photos, you will undoubtedly find the score of batshit insane women telling her that she looks beautiful. Men do not lie to other men this way. They do not pretend that clinical obesity is beauty. Followed up by this meme. First comment, am I fat? No, you are so beautiful, girls. Kings, bro, am I fat? Bro, I know 5 fat people and you are 4 of them. Yeah, that is absolutely how men talk to each other. And so they attack women, and they take women who maybe look like had fun, normal lives at one point. Alyssa Heinerstein, I don't know her. She's the VP of marketing at Bud Light. She's gotten a lot of attention recently. And they attack those women, and they target them to try and change their perspectives. And it's easier to do because of emotional manipulation. Alyssa Heinerstein was totally against fratty culture, right? She did this little podcast about how fratty the culture of Bud Light was and how she needed to change it. Yet here are these photos revealed of her behaving quite drunkenly inside of a degenerate club for the inebriated and intoxicated at Harvard, a club that was known for booze fests and a haven of inebriate ditzes. That's how the Harvard Crimson described it. She was a founding member of that club. Here she is blowing up a condom. Here she is chugging a beer next to this dude. And then there's another photo of her that's my favorite right here. Her getting, presumably having a man of Latin origin put a mustache on her, right? Because he's writing right there where you would put a mustache with a pen. That's a very fratty thing to do. And here's a photo of her gagged on a table. She's gagged on a table laying down. What do you want from me? That's just what's in the photo. Leftism is a cult of self-loathing. It is a cult of individuals who hate themselves, who hate the culture around them. Even the things that used to make them happy, they can be trained to hate them. And that's what Candace Owens is going in on this. And you got to keep these people away from your brands. You got to keep these people away from your policies. You got to keep these people away from the things you love because of their self-loathing for their own skin color, for their own gender, for the gender binary period. Of course, for culture, Christianity. They can be trained by the woke. They can be programmed to be demoralized, to hate themselves. And then you see this. Anheuser-Busch loses $5 billion amid Dylan Mulvaney backlash. Anheuser-Busch, $5 billion since the outrage. And this is just the start. Their market cap has just been decimated. This is just the beginning. It's going to get worse. CNN. Bud Light inclusive ad campaigns are good for business, expert say. So that is proof positive that they're not. I mean, you can be guaranteed that they're not good for business. They are liars. They're lying to you. And that's how you know. If CNN's writing it, well, you can rest assured that that is indeed the case. So why would they do it? I mean, ultimately, why would they do it? Well, because the people who run Bud Light, who presumably like Bud Light, I assume, like these long-term executives who actually enjoy Bud Light, proud of the brand, proud of Anheuser-Busch, they've been told that they got to hire woke extremists. Some lady went to Wharton, Harvard. They got to hire these self-loathing people, these self-loathing women, to go be in charge of their brands. You don't got to do that. In fact, these people are destroyers. They're not creators. They won't build anything. They won't make anything better for your brand. They'll destroy it. And you're seeing that now in real time with Bud Light. Still, I'm never going to drink Bud Light again, not just because it tastes like gutter water strained through sticks and twigs and branches inside of a squirrel's nest, but also just because they violated the trust of the most important person that exists, the paying customer. Don't do that. Go woke, go broke. I mean, it certainly is a tired trope at this point, but I have yet to figure out where it's not absolutely verifiably true. Working to save America, along with Candace Owens. It's your boy, Benny. We'll see you.
Thank you for watching. Our channel is here to meme the libs until they cry and then to meme them crying. Their tears, they taste just like sweet, delicious ice cream. Salty, too. We ridicule the establishment and the libs because of you. Your support keeps us going. So if you like what you saw, please punch the subscribe button, click like, and ring the little bell so that you know when we're live. Don't you want to know when we're live? And make sure that you subscribe to our email list just in case the plug gets pulled, as tends to happen. If you want to see more of our videos, click here or here. My name is Benny Johnson. Stay free, Base Patriots.